Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. I'm the Gerbil. Today I want to talk to you about the crystal income on a monthly scale for a late game account with about 14 million GP, Kyber 1, versus a mid game that I'm going to go ahead and speculate is around Chromium 3 and GAC with approximately 20 stars in Rise of the Empire. I'm doing this for a couple reasons. I think a lot of people will be absolutely shocked to see like how many crystals late gamers actually pull in free to play. At that point, I'm not saying that they were free to play to get there. I certainly am not free to play, but this is where I am in the game. And if I just stop spending right now, this is where I will float at for a while. So let's dive in because it's kind of cool and it was even unexpected to me. So here we go. Let's look at a spreadsheet I put in. And as I'm talking about this, I actually realized something I have missed. I did not include calendars, like the login calendar. Login calendar. So let's go ahead and put that in there right now. That of course happens every single day. We'll get to it in a second. Okay, so daily quests are, the daily feats, play a arena battle, buy 3 things in the store, blah, 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 right? Spend 600 energy. That can be as low as, I think, 65 or 70, I think is the bottom end. I'm not sure. It can go up to, the highest I have seen is 115. Back in the good old days, you could get up to 250, but that got restructured. I actually think this is a better system we have now. I'm much happier. We used to have like 15 feats, whatever. But that is an everyday event, so of course, that gives you 2,250 crystals on average by the end of the month if you just assume the lower end. Now GAC is where things really start to pan out here. Grand Arena, I have always been saying that Fleet Arena #1 is your maximum daily crystal payout, and it sort of is, but it isn't really. GAC is worth more when you do the math. So if you are Kyber 1, like I am presently, then your daily crystal payout is 260 crystals a day, and of course there's 30 days in a month, so that's 7,800 crystals. Now if you have a 50% win rate, and I am actually quite pleased to say that my win rate is slightly higher than that. See here, if we go over to GAC, you'll see that here I have actually underestimated my crystal payout, because I have, for the last 7 weeks, both in 3v3 and 5v5, I have, not 7 weeks, but 7 seasons, which is going to be 63 matches, I have a 55% win rate. So my crystal income is going to be slightly higher than this, but not really. So the minimum in Kyber 1 is 200 crystals for losing, around 900 for winning. If you average that, that's 550. And this works out just cool at 50%. But anyway, you have 9 matches a month. So it's 3 times a week for 3 weeks, right? And you get a week off. That's 4,950 crystals a month. Now, at the end of each week, if you have a 50% win rate, you're going to, on average, you're going to be in that range 2 to 4, where the payout is going to be 500 crystals. So 3 weeks, that's 1,500. And then the end of each season, once a month, assuming you have a fairly low rank, then you get a single payout, and at Kyber 1 it's 2,350. So that is pretty awesome. Now then, we start to get into the date that next we have the fleet, rather. It's going to get trickier down here, but fleet payout is going to yield, if you are rank 1, and this doesn't matter on your position in the game, if you can get to rank 1, then you're going to get 400 crystals a day, and that is a hefty chunk of change right there at 1,200 crystals a month. If you are doing pretty well, my guild, my guild is absolutely not like all full of superstars. I mean, every single human being in there is superstars. We are an amazing guild. You all would be lucky to join our guild. Do reach out to me if you're interested, because anybody can join. We do have a few requirements though, but we don't really push people to be like, oh, you've got to get this, we have to do that. Like Rise of the the Empire territory battle for us is almost entirely volunteer based. Right? You know, we're like, hey, we need a Relic 9 TIE fighter pilot. You know, we just put it out there and somebody's like, okay, I got it. But yeah, so we could probably, you know, at our GP, we should probably be pushing more like 42 stars. So I went kind of on the low end. This is actually our guild's best at 36. But even still, that's 1,125 crystals. It does happen twice a month, so 2,250 for the month. Then with assault battles, as far as I can remember, Duel of Fates and Peridia Patrol, they each, and I had to go look that up. So like I've got one of those open right here. So here's Peridia Patrol in tier 3, 4, and 5, and 6. There are crystal payouts, 100 each. So if you're simming all of those, which I am, that is 400 crystals. And I looked at this month's calendar and I only saw one of these. So if they are both each month, then you know you can double this to 4. No, sorry, I saw one of each of them, right? So you could double that to 4 if it happens twice, but I don't think so. I think it's only one of each a month, so 800 crystals, minimal anyway. And then the air battle. Now, last month, oh my goodness, August was a great month for air battle payouts. It was fantastic. But this month, from what I can see on the calendar, I think it's only happening once or twice. And if you're like, what, 2,000 crystals? Well, yeah, like where have you been living? This is Crimes Against the Republic, which was supposed to happen every week, and then, you know, the different air battle comes in, and the next one we never got our pirate one, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, tier 7 gives you 2,000 crystals. No, we did get a pirate one, didn't we? Yeah, we did. We got the pirate one. I don't remember what it's called. It also gives crystal payouts. So another thing I'm missing here on my spreadsheet, but whatever. So anyway, I'm just putting that down twice a month, so 4,000 crystals. Miscellaneous is like, you know, I just said, you know, like when you get that like bounty hunter event that gives you 100 crystals, or you get a little random pop-up in the game, it's like, sorry, our bad, here's your 300 crystals. Like literally this week everybody got 1,000 crystals. I mean, you just like, hey, that was cool, thank you. Now login calendar, I actually got to go look at that. Like we can see what that looks like real quick. If we go to our inbox and we go hit the daily login, so we can see we've got 80, 130, 190, 280, 380 crystals, 480, 500 crystals for the month. Okay, so but that's going to be the same for everybody, so that's no big deal. But I'll go ahead and put it in there. Login crystal, 500 daily login crystals, and there it is. So that takes formatting, that's gonna trigger me. That takes my daily crystal, not daily, but monthly crystal income up to 38,385. Now that 38,000, just hold that number in mind. What is that like worth in game? Like what does CG charge for that? 38,300. Let's go check it out in the store real quick. You do get more crystals if you go on the internet to the web store, but you can see 38,000 is 2.5 times this. So according to CG, that is $250 worth of crystal income. Bam! I rock. So does everybody. You all rock. You're all beautiful people. Love you all. You know, like and subscribe. Woo! What am I trying to do? Yeah, right there. Heart. Okay, moving right along. So yeah, $250 worth of crystals. That's insane. That's just insane. Yeah, now then, here's the kicker. 38,385. Okay, what is pretty awesome about that is like, how much money did I spend this month to get what will be my Relic 7, very soon to be Relic 7, Captain Silva, and I already got the Relic 7 vane. And if you're guessing, go ahead, take a second guess. Unless you said 0, you're wrong. I didn't spend anything to get these guys. That is because at 38,000 crystals a month income, and honestly, I think last month was more because we had more of this, you can dump about 15 to 17,000 crystals into each of those characters with the packs, and get everything you need by the end of the week and unlock at 7 stars. Now that said, that does mean that I'm not spending crystals on other things like refreshes and stuff. The only place, like, and hear this well, the only thing I spend crystals on in game, there are only 2 things I spend crystals on. And this is actually a result of capital gains. Used to, your daily 600 energy that tallied towards guild events used to only come from Cantina, I think, in light side, dark side battles. So you pretty much had to spend some crystals to refresh to get that. But the update not long ago allows any energy spent. So mod battles, mod challenges, ship battles, light side, dark side, Cantina. So using your daily free refreshes and accumulations, you can get your 600. So you don't have to spend any crystals on that stuff anymore. So the only place I spend crystals as a really late gamer is in Conquest. I do that to refresh energy up here. Like here, I do my 50s and sometimes I do the 100s, and then I just go farm datacrons. The other one is on mod battles. I farm these pretty consistently. Like I think today, yeah, I've done all my 50s. And why do I do that? Well, if we jump back over here, like look at these are my mods, okay? So my mod score is 15.3, which is pretty darn high. And this gives me a significant advantage over my opponents in Grand Arena. And I do really mean that. Like, I mean a significant advantage, okay? So, like, if we go over to Grand Arena and we look at my current... where's GAC? Oh, right here. I want to look at my bracket. Oh, I just hit reload. If we look at the bracket for where I am presently, and my competitors here in Kyber 1, and I'll go ahead and compare us to my current opponent right here. So this is my current opponent right here. So here I am. Here's my opponent. We look at our mods. In terms of 6 pip mods, 6-star mods, I have 1,182, and if we go across, look at my opponents. We got 944, 911, 1023, 911. Oh, that's interesting. 1132, 918. We look at the top 500, like these are speed. This is the average speed. 23 to 19 to 20 to 22 to 19 to 21. And yes, I'm not looking at the decimals. And if you look at total mods that are 25 speed or higher, I've got 160 versus 28, 63, 85, 45, 89. So I have a significant speed advantage. Likewise, I generally aim to maintain a datacron advantage. And why is that? Well, that is because of this chart right here that I'm showing you. This is where the vast majority of your income in crystals comes from GAC winning, maintaining at least a 50% win rate, getting the highest rank you can, like moving up from, you know, Kyber, whatever, the bottom one to, you know, Erodium to Chromium, etc. Trying to get up into the Kyber levels. Because if you are not there, like if you are in the lower levels, then your fleet arena becomes your top crystal income. So I spend all my crystals on maintaining this position in Kyber 1-2, where I float back and forth. And the only crystals I spend is in farming mods, this and Conquest to get datacrons. Now, let's go ahead and shift here and look at a mid-game account. To do that, I'm going to go ahead and unhide. I've hidden that over here. I didn't want to get distracted with it. So let's unhide that. And I'm going to scroll over to look at those chromiums. So this is a chromium account. And here we go. We got the same daily quests. But at the chromium, your daily crystal payout is only 115, and that is versus 260 over here, so less than half. Your average GAC win, if you have a strictly 50-50, is going to be 185 crystals versus how much? 550. So that's like a huge diff. And then your weekly is actually the same, whether you win or lose. Like your weekly event payout is the same. Your end of season is over half, less than half, sorry. Now, if you do not maintain a presence in fleet above rank 50, or rather, I should say below rank 50, which shockingly a lot of people don't push for, you have 0 crystals. Like 0. Like, I want you to pause right now and think about that. 0. If you have just rank 50, if you get in just the top 50, you get 50 crystals a day. That's going to give you 1,500 crystals. If you can get in the top 20 and get like 100 crystals a day, you're now pushing 3,000. If you get that Executor or that Leviathan or whatever that's going to help you climb unlocked, and you can get in the top 5, you're going to get 300, now 9,000 crystals a month, right? This is just monumentally important, folks. Now, Rise of the Empire, assuming you get to the 20-star mark, which is actually quite challenging for lower to mid game, probably 720 twice a month, 1,400. You're definitely not getting the higher tiers completed in the recent assault battles, and you're definitely not getting that tier 7 or whatever with the 2,000 crystals there. I'm going to assign the same miscellaneous, the same calendar login. So look at the diff. 38,000 versus 12,000. Now, what's really interesting about this, and it kind of warrants an entire video on its side, when you are a late gamer, and it doesn't matter whether you're like me, Arnold, or one of, you know, any Kyber 1, 2, Kyber 3 player, you know, when you're pushing that 12 to 14 million GP, you kind of have everybody unlocked. And that means you don't really need Kyrotax, and you don't really need, you know, a lot of gear. I do have a few gold, and then I've got a couple like purple down here. Amazingly, everybody gives me heck about Juhani, but yeah, sorry, Juhani, you're not moving. But essentially, what that means is like I just don't need to invest crystals in anything, right? Because they're pretty much all there. Whereas a person back in Chromium here probably still has better of 150 characters that are gear 11 and below, which means they need these crystals more than I do. They need these crystals way more than I do. And despite needing them, they're not going to get them, or it's going to be a lot more challenging to get them, like considerably challenging to get them, right? Once again, need those fleet crystals. You get in that fleet, and look, the difference is not nearly as stark, but it's still roughly half. So what this means is that your late gamers have a massive competitive advantage that no matter what you do in game, you're not going to make up for it until you have the same roster and become equally competitive in GAC. And about the only way to do that is opening wallet. So like, I don't mean to be like disparaging or like trying to create a negative vibe. I'm not. That's not my goal. It's just to show you that I guess at the end of the day, you should not be trying to chase those people at the high end. Don't try to replicate everything you see from the high-end SWGOH players. Instead, look realistically at where you can get the maximum improvement in your crystal payout. And almost at any position in the game, that's going to be right here, your fleet. You've got to get that fleet up and running. After that, then you need to shift your focus big time to GAC. Love it, hate it, doesn't matter. You got to get into that GAC, and you've got to try to maintain your highest level that you can obtain, right? So like if we just jump over to the game real quick and we look at the payouts there in GAC, and you'll see how it feels really painful in like down here. Like if you're in like Bronzium, your daily payout is 100 crystals, and like those are really valuable at those points in the game. They really are, and that's at Bronzium 1. But as you move up to like Erodium, it's 140. That doesn't sound like a big difference, but it is if you think about it over the course of a month or a year. 40 crystals a day, 30 days in a month, you're talking 1,200 crystals, right? And then if you are able to break into that Kyber range, then it's another big jump, 180. So nearly that's 80% more. And then of course, look at your win losses, right? Like Kyber 5 is going to get 600 crystals for a win, 200 for a loss. Whereas back down here in these Brondiums, you're going to get 250, right? 600 versus 200. And then 100, was that 150 in the Kyber 5? Or 200 versus 50. 4 times as much for losing still, right? Like even for losing a match, that person at 200 is going to get more than these people are going to get on their daily payout. Or even for losing, they get the same number of crystals that somebody down here wins. So it's really, really important. And I just really can't stress that if you're looking to maximize your crystal payouts in this game, you have to get that. Or not even number 1. You just got to get top 5, right? Like here's the payout. You've got to get into that top 5. Rank 20 to 50 gives you 50. If you can get rank top 10, you'll get 200. If you can hit that number 5, and I'll tell you kind of a pro tip that I've learned over the years is sometimes it's actually better to get rank 2 than rank 1. Not because of the payout. The payout is going to be at rank 1 you get 400. At rank 2 you get 375. So like, why in the hell would I be saying don't go for rank 1? Nobody wants rank 2. They want rank 1, which means when other people are doing their climb, they go at number 1. If you go rank number 1, then tomorrow when you wake up, you definitely are going to have to climb again. But if you get that rank 2, I am not exaggerating. I have gone an entire week without a fleet battle because I get that rank 2 and nobody wants that position. They just like, no, I want rank 1. I want the crystals. And in the meantime, I'm sitting there going, dude, my sanity is saved. I have not had to do this stupid Leviathan mirror match grind. To get to that rank 1, if I get rank 1, I'm going to be knocked down to about rank 15 by the time I wake up the next day. And that means I need 3 to 4 battles minimum. And that's 10 to 15 minutes of my life every single day. So I just kind of camp out on rank 2 a lot of times and just take it. Anyway, folks, I really sincerely do hope that this has been interesting, helpful, and if nothing, maybe a little bit intriguing to make you just kind of ponder or go, wow, that's how much, you know, a lot of high-end guild players are having, right? If you're in Erodium or even Chromium, you know, and you've got 6 million GP and you get matched up against someone who's got 13 million GP, their income is going to be the same as yours because of the GAC ranking, but they're still getting that higher fleet ranking, I bet. And so that just puts you at a further disadvantage, right? I mean, I don't know, guys, folks, I can ramble on, and I need to shut up and go to bed. I'm getting tired. So once again, I hope you enjoyed this. Take it for what you will and have a great day. Enjoy the game for what it is, a video game, and do what's fun for you. And if you are trying to grow this and kind of chase and catch up and get into the higher GACs, you need to get that fleet. All right, you need to get that fleet. And if you're curious, my recommendation to start with is Executor. Get Executor, then get Profundity, and just do it. Do it. You won't regret it. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. Take care. I will see you later. Bye-bye.